Fabiano, you just drew your first game against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. First of all, how was it to be playing classical freestyle again?
Yeah, it was interesting. I was a bit scared out of the opening after e4, and we had kind of considered this pawn sacrifice in the opening, but I wasn't sure it was correct, and I think like Hikaru got in huge trouble, so I don't know if it was actually a good pawn sacrifice, but I didn't know what else to do because it looked like other ways White would have a safe advantage, so I went for it. Maxime decided not to take the pawn, which maybe wasn't so critical. At least I thought I have a good position. And at some point I got ambitious. I thought I was slightly better. But then I misplayed it for sure, and I was extremely nervous after bishop c3. I went for this f4, which is a very concrete solution, but I thought he could take the pawn on b6, allow f3, which is, of course, double-edged, but he puts the bishop on b5, and I have to prove it with very little time that I have enough compensation. So I think he just missed that I can take back on f4, and then I should be okay. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure, but I thought probably if it's working tactically, then I have enough activity.
Jan Nepomniachtchi mentioned in the confessional booth that he had suggested this pawn sacrifice out of the opening. He dubbed it the Nepo Gambit. Was that so? How did the pre-game discussion between you guys go?
Yeah, he said it's always good. He said in any position it's good to sack. I've already noticed that he's going for this idea, and I also noticed Magnus was sometimes going in, I mean, not in this position, but in similar positions. For some pawn sack where your knight goes to g6, you get some open lines and try to get the center. Um, but his comment that it's always good was, okay, probably typical for Jan, kind of very optimistic. But I wasn't so sure. But it was his idea. He did come up with it, and it did lead to a good position for me, at least. Maybe Hikaru will have a different feeling about his idea.
We didn't get the chance to talk to you the last couple of days. The round robin was a bit of a nervy one for you. You got off to a bad start with 0 out of 3, but you qualified in the end. What was your overall feeling now looking back on those 2 days?
Yeah, terrible start, terrible finish, but the middle was okay. But yeah, I lost 5 games. Especially the last two, I think were so unnecessary because I just need one draw to clinch it, basically. I know that I need just one draw. It's not too difficult, I think, to achieve one draw out of 2 games, and didn't even manage that, and then got lucky. Thankfully, it didn't really matter if I were to win the last 2 games or lose the last 2 games. It didn't actually end up mattering too much, so that's kind of how the system is. I benefited a bit this time around.
One of the reasons the players like freestyle chess so much is because there was no need to prepare like you do for classical. And the commentators and the broadcast mentioned that you are the instigator of game nights pretty much every night. Why do you enjoy them so much? And how come you, even during the tournaments, you're happy to play every day?
Yeah, it became a thing. I mean, it used to be a thing many years ago. I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Maxime or Magnus who would bring a set of Avalon, and I think the first time I played was in Leuven in the Grand Chess Tour in 2017. Everyone was playing at a bar. I think it was someone's birthday. But yeah, they would all get together. Then I kind of became part of it, and then it stopped for many years. And then more recently, I thought, why not to revive this old tradition? So very often we do have game nights, and here it's a bit easier to justify it because there's nothing to prepare for. So you don't have to worry that you're, distracting yourself from useful preparation when there isn't really much else to do. But I guess the main thing is not to sleep super late, which is tempting, and also not to hate the people you're playing against, which is also easy to happen when you're playing these games.
Who is the one person who is easiest to hate? Who's the best liar in those role play games we play?
Best liar. Well, I think Levon has always, I don't think he's here yet. I think he's coming a bit later, but Levon has always been the best and most frustrating liar. And Maxime is also pretty good. They at some point had like some system in Avalon, which was really frustrating. And yeah, sometimes you get upset. You should just not break any friendships, I think, over board games.
Fabi, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us and best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.